Hey guys, so just got done with my last show of the season so far. This video will kind of just be going over, the last prep and kind of what's gone into it and what to expect, moving forward and what I'm going to be doing and just kind of summing up, everything and what the future entails. So starting off, let's just start off from the very beginning, which would be the Vancouver Open. I got all my hardware right here. So the Vancouver Open, it was a really fun show, lots of competition. The only issue really at all was that my tan started to fall apart right after bodybuilding prejudging. So, nothing really I can do. Um, that's kind of out of my control and it sucks. And I prepped my skin and I did all the, sugar scrubs and exfoliating and everything. Everything I needed to do, I did. And, the tan just didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. It looked really splotchy. I think I already talked about it in my last video. But, yeah, so overall, really fun show. Could have done better in Classic if my tan was better. In my opinion, I think it looked really good. A little smaller compared to the other guys, but it's an open show, so a lot of those guys are enhanced. And yeah, but these are the medals. They look pretty sweet. But yeah, that one is. Let's see. We'll look at the back. Second place. I think you can see that there. And then hopefully it's not turned around. I don't think it should be. And that one is fourth place. So yeah, first show of the season. I had a lot of fun. But yeah, tan just started to fall apart. Met a lot of guys there, a lot of cool guys that I competed with later in the season at my last show actually. But yeah, then let's get into the big one. So after that, I had the Emerald about a month later. So lot went on. So first off would be bodybuilding, and I ended up winning the overall for bodybuilding. Very surprised. The guy that I beat, looked pretty solid too. But yeah, there is first place. And yeah, so with that, I ended up going up against guys probably 50s, 40s or something, but he was stacked. I thought I got second place, and when they called my name for first, I was really surprised, and then ended up competing for the overall. And yeah, we won this hardware. Pretty sweet. Got that. And then this. The big boy. The overall. But yeah, I can't even get into frame. I'm kind of sitting back weird, but yeah, really sweet overall champ. And then after that, we had, so it was kind of crappy the way it all flowed. It wasn't bad necessarily, but I just wish not that I didn't win the overall, but I wish they had UP test later or something, or even like, I don't know, just not right before I go back on stage, because it was pretty stressful to basically, I won the overall. They had me go P test. I'm rushing to get all this stuff in because I have Classic like literally in like 5 minutes. And so I'm rushing around trying to get ready and all this stuff. And then came around to juniors. And by then, my legs starting to just kind of fall apart from standing up for so long and running around and all this stuff. So I started exerting myself when I probably shouldn't have been. So I ended up getting second place in juniors. I won the second place last year, but yeah, ended up getting second place. And then right after that, I went back on stage. So I didn't have any rest time, no time to get sugar, salt to me, or nothing. It was literally on stage, right back on 5 seconds later. So posing was a big issue. Started to get fatigued again. I'm not going to be doing that for another show probably. I don't plan on doing it, but I ended up getting third in Classic Open. So overall, my favorite show I do every year or so far, and it's crazy to see the difference I've made just from one year, having crappy posing, having a crappy tan, not really knowing what I'm doing to, having a lot more confidence and being more comfortable on stage. And my stage presence was a big takeaway that the judges told me, was that I looked really good and confident on stage. The only downside would be hammies on my back poses, and that again most likely is just from being fatigued and not flexing my legs on my rear poses, which is something I'm going to work on. Going to work on legs really hard this off season, probably hitting them like 3 times a week. We'll see. I don't know. That's the plan. I'm gonna dial my legs, and they're gonna be biggest they've ever been. So yeah, that was the last show, or 2 shows ago, Emerald. And then this last show was pretty stressful for me. I ended up going in with not a lot of salt. Didn't take salt out the day before, but I think I lowered it by about 40% just to try to excrete a little bit more water. And from now on, I'm not going to be messing with salt too much. It ruined my posing, and I think if I would have not messed with salt, I probably would have won my class in bodybuilding and then competed for the overall. And that's just because from what I'm about to say. So getting that out of the way, salt was a big issue. Water could have been a little higher. But yeah, is what it is. Can't really change that now. So let's get into the results. So first off was bodybuilding. Posing was not solid. It was just really shaky, and I felt it. The second, it sucks too, because the second I woke up and walked down the stairs to go grab, I think I had my breakfast in my car or something, my legs were instantly shaky walking down the stairs. I'm like, oh God, like this is gonna not be fun. I tried to get salt in me before the show, couldn't do it. And then after, so stepping back, open bodybuilding, I got second. And then juniors, for classic, I got first, but I think I was the only one. There's like maybe one other guy, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I believe I was the only guy in that. And then came classic open. So classic open, I did really well in. I ended up getting second place to the guy that won the overall. And then the guy that beat me in bodybuilding, I beat in classic. So that's why I say if my salt and everything would have been dialed, I probably would have won. It was my posing, 100% my posing. I think I looked better. I wasn't as conditioned as the guy. He was really conditioned, but I had probably 15 pounds on him. But overall, really happy with the show. It was on the coast. Had an awesome weekend with my girl down there on the coast. Visited a couple shops down there and just kind of enjoyed the weather. Got a little foggy and didn't see the northern lights, which kind of sucked, but is what it is. I saw some pictures, but yeah, so let's look at these. So that is the Open Classic, second place. This is juniors first place. Yeah, these medals are always dope, but I do like the trophies a little bit more. And then that is second place for middleweight. Let me look at these real quick. I wish more shows did these. These are awesome. I got this at the Tangi Johnson last year. But yeah, freaking sweet. If I had a whole shelf of those, it'd be pretty badass. But now I got some hardware to go with everything, and I guess that's kind of the results of the season. I'm really happy, especially being self-coached, to be able to get an overall is huge. Not a lot of people can do that even with a coach. So I think things I would have done differently is not manipulate my salt too much. I did it to try to see what would work and what wouldn't. And obviously manipulating my salt, I didn't look any leaner. I didn't look any drier, but it messed up my posing pretty bad. So moving forward, not going to manipulate the salt too much. Could probably hold back on the carbs a little bit more. more. I was at, shoot, I did 600 the day before, I want to say. No. I did 600 2 days before, and then I think about 800 the day before. So a lot of carbs going in the 2 days prior to the show. I looked full. I looked really full, but I could have been drier. So I think lowering the water a little bit before show, but then at the same time, it's like I feel like I don't fill out if I have enough water either. So that's where getting a coach would come into play, and I guess we can get into that. I believe if I do that show in November, I want to hire a coach. From the guy that I've talked to so far, he's a really good coach, has a bunch of IFBB guys. He charges $300 off season, $400 during the season, which is a lot, but not, about what I was expecting. And the thing that sucks is, like, I know how to train hard. I know how to eat. It's literally peak week is what I've always had trouble with. I can't get the carbs right. I can't get the salt right. I can't get the water right. Like, everything I feel like is just, you got to have it perfectly stacked for it to go perfectly, and haven't been able to nail that. My last show, I think, was the closest I was if I wouldn't have manipulated my salt, because I had really, really good pictures the day of the show on the beach. I looked nuts. Let me see if I have one. Yeah, these. I wonder if you can see that. I looked dialed. My leg striations, everything. It looked pretty good. But again, yeah, if I would have had more salt, I probably would have done better, With that being said, I think moving forward, I haven't decided on that show in Virginia yet. It would be a great experience, but when I got, if you put in perspective, these are the best of the best, These are guys that have been training. A lot of them are older than me. I guarantee you I'd probably be one of the younger guys there, because not a lot of younger guys are qualifying for those shows. They're all older, developed guys. And so if I'm going up against, even some freak athletes, some like D1 football players or something, like those guys are going to look solid too. So it really just depends on how the next couple months go. If I end up getting a coach or if I end up not getting a coach, I have the money put aside. I'm not worried about the money. I already have that put aside, ready for it. But it's more just, it wouldn't be a waste of time if I wasn't to do well. But I think it'd be beneficial to just stick with a bulk instead of, manipulating so much where it's like I'm increasing my calories and then I'm dropping them, and then I'm increasing my shit ton and then I'm dropping them again. And it's just like, I'm going to put on fat and then I'm going to stress my body out more. And I've already done that like so much the last year that I think I've dieted for probably about, since I did this show these shows last year, I'm pretty sure I technically started my bulk a little bit after the Tangi Johnson, which I think would be May. Was it May? June? May? Something like that. Anyways, I got hurt in September, and so I didn't really have a good off season. And I think if I would have had a good off season, I probably could have put some more size on my legs. My legs look a lot better than they did last year, but they're still lacking. And I think when it comes to a national level stage, I'm not going to do as well as I want to do. So it just really depends. It would be more so for the experience than placing and getting a pro card. Obviously, that's like the goal. I have a lot of years to put in, I think, before I can think about that. But at least IFBB. There is a different league that I was looking into. They have a show in November up in Seattle. It's the OCB, so it's all drug tested and everything still. And I don't even know if I want to do that because I don't want to have to cut. But I bet I could get away with being a little bit less conditioned at those shows because from what I've seen, they're not as conditioned as, the NPC shows I've seen. So a lot of information, I guess, lots of I don't knows yet, but I am very happy. I'm appreciative of everyone that supported me. And yeah, it just really depends on how the next couple months go if I do that show. Obviously, I want to. A lot of things have to go right, so just kind of enjoying food right now. Haven't, increased a shit ton yet. The last couple of days, I've had like a ice cream cone or, a little bit of cheesecake or whatever, just getting some cravings out of the way before I, start dialing back in. But overall, I'm at about, I'm trying to reverse diet a little bit while enjoying things that, I like. So I'm at about 2,400 calories right now, which is still pretty low. I probably burn like 3,000, but I'm just trying to, reverse diet just gradually, probably over the next like 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks, but we'll see. A lot of people do like 10-week reverse diets, but it's like I don't care if I put on a little bit of fat. I'm in my off season, so obviously you're just gonna have to not put on a lot of fat because it'd be, just extra to take off, which is annoying. So don't want to try to do that. Yeah, that's kind of the plan. Those are the results. Haven't posted a lot just because I've been so dialed and I've been just trying to focus on, the bodybuilding, and I've been really stressed with, some other things. Just bodybuilding doesn't help because my cortisol is through the roof and I am just stressed all the time, and I'm happy that it's over, but I am very, now I don't know what to do. I gotta go just get back to work and train and no shows. It's weird, after you've just been training for basically dedicated the whole last 6 months to bodybuilding. Now it's over, and I want to pursue it, in the future and everything. I think right now it would just be smart to settle and just sit back and train hard and eat food and enjoy the summer, because I think that would be better for me and my mental health. Yeah, just it's been hard mentally. Starving yourself, it's just not a good time. So we will keep chugging along like we always do, and I think that's it. I think I ran all the bases. Hopefully I can film more, that I'll have a little bit more energy. It'll still take a little bit of time to settle into actually eating food. But yeah, thanks again for all the support, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks again.